My grandfather had a farm in Vermont that we grew up going to as kids. To him, it was a lifestyle choice and it was an investment. He wanted to provide a place where we could go and explore and learn about the great history of American agriculture. A place that his family could come to. It was unique to anything else. A place we could all call home. It was a homestead. There's no place like the homestead of a 30-acre or 60-acre or 200-acre farm. When most people think about North Carolina, they think about the majesty of the Blue Ridge Mountains and the greatness of the Outer Banks, where they think about our hot job market because of the Research Triangle Park and our promising future because of our banking industry. The truth is, North Carolina is a top producer of agriculture in the United States. We're the 14th largest crop state and the 5th largest livestock state. We produce 795 million chickens each year. We produce more hams and more turkeys than any other state. We produce 60 million turkeys each year. Now think about that on Thanksgiving morning. There's a lot to be thankful for when you're sitting there eating that North Carolina ham and turkey. Agriculture in the state of North Carolina is a $78 billion industry. 90% of the state of North Carolina is covered in agricultural property. 30% of North Carolina, or roughly 9 million acres, is farmland and cropland. 19 million acres, or 60% of the land, is forest land, and most of that forest land, roughly 85%, is privately owned. Forestry is the largest industry in the state of North Carolina. It includes everything from furniture to paper to lumber and Christmas trees. North Carolina is a top producer of Christmas trees, so there's another thing to be thankful for at the holidays is your Douglas fir Christmas tree. Historically, North Carolina has always been more of a livestock state than it has been a crop state. Even though 50% of the tobacco in the United States comes out of North Carolina, back before the 1800s, the land in North Carolina was virtually uncroppable because without fertilizers, nothing actually will grow in the state of North Carolina. Going back before the Prohibition period, North Carolina was actually one of the most important wine states. Grapes grow very naturally in the state of North Carolina. In fact, the oldest Scuppernong vine is about 400 years old and it's on Roanoke Island, and it's probably the first commercially grown grape in the United States. North Carolina has the Biltmore Estate, which is the most visited winery in the United States, and we have the Duplin wineries, which are the largest producer of muscadine wines in the United States. And looking back before the Civil War period, North Carolina was one of the most important horse racing states. It's still a very important horse racing state today. Very famous racehorses such as Sir Archie came from North Carolina, and Sir Archie's heirs include Secretariat and Seabiscuit. Across the state of North Carolina, we have over 59,000 equine operations. An average equine operation has about 6 horses per 40 acres, and the average investment is close to $500,000, most of that being land. We have over 52,000 farming operations with an average acre size of 173 acres per operation. We have 400 vineyards throughout the state of North Carolina. These properties are very complex properties. They have a lot of land. That land had to have been cultivated in a way that makes things grow. They have a lot of infrastructure, a lot of facilities. It's property that has been properly invested in to turn it into a functioning facility. And more than a functioning facility, these properties are people's investments. They're people's lives. Some of the properties have been in families for generations. I can't think of an investment anybody could possibly make that's more important than an investment in a property where you raised your family, run a business, invested in an infrastructure, and when it comes time to sell that property, that's got to be a big decision. That's got to be something where you want to make sure whoever goes in to put a price tag on your property and to market your property really knows what they're doing, that they really understand the effort that you've put into it, that they can experience what you've experienced with that land. It takes a lot of knowledge from the broker to make sure you're getting the proper value for your property. Real estate brokers, we spend our lives on the road, and one of the things that has always intrigued me when the first time when I arrive at somebody's property or I'm driving out to somebody's property is the uniqueness of the location. The land is one of those things it can't move. So wherever it is a huge characteristic of that property. And being able to capture the location of a property for a potential buyer and really showing where a property is located is part of our job as brokers.
We go a step beyond when we list someone's property. Anybody can buy a sign, put a sign out front, put it on a few internet websites.
We want to bring a unique experience because 98% of the buyers are going to find that property online.
So what's to say one brokerage firm is going to make your property stand out from the next?
And if you don't have something online that's going to entice them enough to come out and take a look at your property, they're not going to come take a look. And photographs simply don't do enough.
So we try to take the extra step so those people surfing the web, they can come across your property, and while sitting at their computer, it feels like they're there.
We want to take them, on a walk through your property, on a walk across your fields. We want to take them down through your woods along that stream bed that leads out to a bass pond. We want them to experience every aspect of that property and really see the uniqueness of that property, because that's what's going to entice them to come out and take a look at your property.
The biggest difference between other brokers and I in looking at your listing is that I am a property owner. I operate a ranch. I know what it's like to operate farm equipment, machinery. I know what it's like to work with horses. I have property. I am the market that you're selling to. I'm the market that you're selling from.
You want to know that your broker has created a marketing campaign and put your property out there in a way that is appreciated.
When we list an agricultural property or a piece of land or an equestrian center, it's more than listing a house. It's more than listing a commercial property.
It's not just about a house or a place to live for the next 3 to 5 years. When you're working with these type of properties, when you're dealing with agricultural properties, what you're working with is a place.
A place that somebody has put a lot of money into, a place where somebody has cultivated the land, where they have grown livestock, where they've raised a family and they've run a business.
And it's a place where their family has gathered for generations.
The meaning behind these properties, it is somebody's legacy. And to the buyer, it's an American dream.